This is such a fun question. These are great questions. Okay, so the way that it works, and next question. Oh, this one is good. Okay. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah and this is Jar of Fireflies. Here I make videos about my life as an Orthodox Jewish homeschooling mother of 4. And today I will be answering your questions. All right, you guys know I absolutely love a good Q&A and it's been a while, so here we go again. I've gotten well over 100 questions submitted from you guys with more still coming in. So I'm just gonna get to as many as I can today and we'll do another one here in a week or so. So let's just dive right in and get started. Okay, first question. When will we see more of the dishes you and Mr. Firefly make for Shabbat? Every recipe I have introduced has been a huge hit with my family. I'm so glad to hear that. That's fantastic. So we do plan to do some more recipes. We want to do some more of our salads, like the dips that we do for Friday night and Shabbat lunch that we bring out with our bread. Other than that, I don't really know. We don't have anything necessarily in the works, but we'll see. Other than that, there's nothing necessarily like planned, but I do know we want to do some more of those salad recipes. I have had a lot of requests for like his recipe for how he makes the roast that we eat a lot on Saturday. So maybe I can snag that from him sometime and have him make that for us. So, all right, stay tuned for more food recipes. All right, next question. Are there different mikvahs for the different types of Judaism? So like a mikvah for only Orthodox and another one for Hasidic, etc. So yes, there are. They're all basically the same, but there are some differences or stringencies that certain branches of Judaism may take on, like Chabad, for example. Their mikvahs are a little bit different than like the other mikvahs that we have here in town. So they're all fine for me to use. They're just a little bit different. So I don't really know a lot of specific details about that because you're getting into like intricacies of building a mikvah, but I do know that there are some differences, at least within Chabad and non-Chabad. Outside of that, I don't know. But I do want to do some videos about mikvah later on once I get a little more used to in the swing of things with baby Firefly, and perhaps we can dive into that a bit more then for you. All right, next question. Which vacuum do you have? Do you like it? I get this question asked all the time. I have a Dyson. We got it from Costco. I don't know anything more specific about it than that, other than that I saw it at Costco the other day, so it's probably available online. But that is the vacuum. Yes, I like it. It's great. I didn't think I would like a cordless vacuum, but then I got into it and now I am like obsessed. All right, the next question. What surprised you about homeschooling? This is such a fun question. What surprised me about homeschooling? I think what surprised me the most about homeschooling is how much I've gotten out of the experience of teaching my children, of educating them at home. Because I'm getting this whole new education all over again. Also, when we're diving into our fine art studies, I also get to dive into these fine art studies. When we're reading through history, I'm also reading through history. And then I find my own rabbit holes that I go and explore further on my own. And it's really been a whole new education for me. It's like I'm getting the education that I always wished I had, you know? So yeah, that's definitely been the most surprising thing for me. I guess I just didn't realize the impact that it would have on me personally. So that's been very cool and interesting. All right, next question. Which countries have you been to and what are your top 5 that you would like to explore next? Okay, countries that I have been to. United States, obviously, but I'm listing that because I have extensively explored the United States, which is quite an awesome country to explore. There's so much here. What else? I've spent time in Canada, Mexico, Switzerland, and Italy. So those are the countries that I have been to. Countries that I would like to explore next. Israel, obviously. I've never been to Israel. I would love to go there. I would also absolutely love to go to Australia. And so along with Australia, I'd love to pop over to New Zealand and then take a boat down to Antarctica. Did you guys know you can do that? You can take a boat from New Zealand to Antarctica. I want to do that so bad. So yeah. Okay, so that is 4. The other country would be Scotland. I want to go to Scotland. I want to explore more of where my family's come from. There's so much sightseeing that I would like to do there. It's such a beautiful country. I love the history, like everything. I would love to go to Scotland. So those are the places that I would like to go. All right, next question. If any of your children wanted to pursue a career in nursing or medicine, would you hire a tutor for advanced sciences or send them to a public school? No, I wouldn't. I am perfectly adept at covering science for my kids. If we get to a point where that's not working out, then I will hire a tutor. There are so many resources available to us today as homeschoolers that I don't see that there's an issue of being able to teach my kids like high school science. And if my child wants to pursue any kind of a career in medicine, they'll get that at like the college and university level. That they're not getting that from me. I will prepare them for college or university if that's a track that they want to pursue, but I don't think they're going to need to cover anything that I can't cover in middle school or high school or elementary school. And as always, we will homeschool as long as it works for our family. So if we see that it's not working out, then we won't. Okay, next question. Does Texas require any sort of annual reporting or student progress? No, Texas does not. Every state is different. Many states do. Texas is one of those that does not. We are free to educate our children how we choose. Will they get a GED at the completion of 12th grade? If they choose to go and take a GED test, they can. But in Texas, I can just simply give my kids a high school diploma once they have finished, and then they are good to go. I can also create transcripts for them so that they can go to college if that's what they choose. So yeah, they do not have to get a GED. They will have a high school diploma. Okay. Next question, what do the kids call their grandparents? Okay, so they call my parents grandma and grandpa because we speak English with them. And they call my husband's parents Saba and Safta. So that is Hebrew for grandma and grandpa. Saba is grandpa, Safta is grandma. So that is what they call the grandparents. All right, next question. Did you come up with the ideas for the wall quilts, or is it a pattern? And if yes, from where? Okay, so this one up here at the top is just random stuff sewn together and stitched all. It has no pattern whatsoever. This one here, I made up my own pattern, but it was based on the quilts of Kim McLean. So if you look up her stuff online, you'll find patterns that are similar to that, but her stuff is like insane. It's awesome. This one here was a pattern that I got from a mini quilt pattern book by Moda. It was like Moda's Mini Quilt Designs or something like that. Where do I have it? There we go. Moda All Stars Mini Marvels. And see, there's the quilt. Ta-da! Not bad, huh? That's a great little book, but that is the only quilt that I have done from that book. Okay, next question. Do you celebrate Christmas, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Valentine's Day? Okay, Christmas, no. Easter, no, because those are Christian holidays that we do not celebrate because we are not Christian. Mother's Day, yes. More for my mom, like less for me. I'm not so into Mother's Day for myself personally, and that's the way my husband kind of feels about Father's Day. So in our personal home, we're not so big into Mother's Day or Father's Day, but we celebrate it with my parents. And then Valentine's Day, no, because we also look at that as a religious holiday. Okay, next question. Are you allowed to wear secondhand items? Yes, and this is actually like kind of a big thing in our community. As soon as you like grow out of clothes, like your kids grow out of clothes or you don't want something anymore, we kind of post it in our community group chat. It's like, hey, who wants all this, newborn clothing that my kid's grown out of? And somebody's like, oh, I'll take that, So we just kind of help each other out like that. And I went through my closet one time and got rid of a ton of stuff. And I was like, who wants it? And I just posted pictures with sizes and, people just started claiming stuff. They come pick it up. So yeah, definitely. It's, I don't know, kind of almost the culture here that we share clothes, at least in my community. But yeah, secondhand clothes, no problem. Actually, come to think of it, there's a whole thing. We have this thing called gemach, and it's kind of like a place where you can either go and get clothing for very inexpensive, and there's gemachs for all kinds of things, not just clothing, but you can either get clothing for very inexpensive, or you can take it for free, or you can borrow it and give it back. So that's also a place that you can donate your clothing that you're not using anymore to help somebody else out. So it's particularly popular with like school uniforms or with like formal gowns, because why spend hundreds of dollars on a formal gown when you could go borrow one, especially when you're only gonna wear it like once. So yeah, borrow clothes, no problem. Secondhand items, no problem. Okay, next question. Can I wash meat and dairy in the same dishwasher cycle? No, I cannot. Our dishwasher is just for our meat dishes. Next question. Do I have to wash clothing separately? For example, boy or girl, or bedding or towels? No, all the laundry goes in there together. There's no issues there. I do generally wash my kids' clothes in one load and my clothes in another load, that kind of a thing, so that it's easier to put away, but it's not like a requirement or anything like that. There's really no rules around laundry other than we can't do laundry on Shabbat and all the sub rules that kind of go along with that. So, okay, the next question. Can I use the same sponge or cloth to clean my ovens, or do I need different ones? Yeah, I would use different ones. I usually just put my oven on the self-cleaning cycle, or I would probably use paper towels, but that's just me personally. But yeah, separate sponges I would use. Next question. Oh, this one is good. Okay. Are there differences in opinion within Orthodox Judaism on what modesty entails? Yes. Okay. So there are some people, for example, like where my husband grew up, I think it was the Tunisians in his neighborhood, always show like an inch or two of their hair right here before they cover it with a scarf the rest of the way. There's other people like my Rebbitzin who would not show any hair at all. I'm kind of in between. Like right now, I guess I'm not really showing any. Sometimes I show a little. I'm allowed to show a certain amount of hair. I just generally try not to, but I'm allowed. Wow, that's a whole page of questions already. Okay, what time is it? All right, I'm gonna go pull the bread out of the oven and I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. Okay. All right, maybe we can get through like one more page of questions. Yeah, we'll try one more page. Okay, next question. Your homeschooling curriculum looks amazing. I was wondering how you create opportunities for your kids to socialize with other kids. And this also came up in many other forms as well, as far as like socialization. My kids are very well socialized. They have play dates with friends all the time. We have a homeschool group that we're involved in. We do lessons with another family one day a week. Like there's so many opportunities for socialization, and also just going to the stores, because I think when people think about socialization, they're really focused on like that kind of peer-to-peer socialization. My kids definitely get that, but there's so much more to socialization than just peer-to-peer socialization, which is what you're primarily getting if you're sending your child to like a regular school. They're just kind of hanging out with other kids their age, whereas my kids are hanging out with a vast variety of ages, including children their own ages, and adults and elderly people and babies and like everything. So yeah, my kids are super socialized. Yeah, creating opportunities. It's doing school with other families, it's play dates, it's the nature group, park days, scouting, like there's so many opportunities. So yeah, we're not worried about that. Next question. Were you born in Texas? No, I was not. But as we like to say here in Texas, I wasn't born here, but I got here as quickly as I could. Next question. What was your favorite subject in school when you were little? Oh gosh, define little. I know that I really enjoyed English in like high school when we were like really writing and things like that. When I was little, it was probably anything art related and library time, because I was an obsessive reader as a child. I absolutely love reading. So like when I think of elementary school, I think of like art or library. And high school, I think of like writing. Middle school, I try to forget. The next question. You virtually always seem so upbeat. Do you ever have cranky times? Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, I do. I get super cranky when I'm hungry and super cranky when I'm tired. By the end of the day, when I'm trying to make dinner, I'm both cranky and tired. And there's usually some frustration at that time of day. And other times of the day as well. Like right now, my kids are being really loud out there playing. I don't know if you can hear them in the background. I'm really frustrated about that. But I'm trying to just like let it go. I'm working really hard to just let all those things go. It takes time, it takes effort. It's just like a character trait that I've been working on myself for years, to not get frustrated at things, because like I live here with my family. It's not just my house. And so like all the messes that frustrate me, or the kids being loud that frustrates me, like, come on, dude. I want kids. Kids come with messes. Husbands come with messes. But I want them. I want them to live with me. So they're being really loud. I hope they don't wake up baby Firefly, because then the video has to end. But yeah, I definitely get cranky and frustrated, and that's just what happens. But like, I'm not gonna film that part of my day, you know? I will turn the camera off if I'm gonna go and be frustrated and cranky, because nobody wants to watch that in a video. But know, please, that it happens. Definitely happens. Okay, next question. They're being so loud. Okay, next question. What inspired your choice of the Orthodox versus Hasidic versus Chabad versus conservative movement? So I know I wanted Orthodox. Hasidic is within the Orthodox, Chabad is within the Orthodox. They're just like kind of like different variations therein. So as far as what inspired me to go Orthodox, if you watch my conversion videos, I definitely talk about that. I'll link to the conversion videos down in the description box below. So definitely check those out. There aren't Hasidic Jews in my area, so it wasn't really an option to get involved with the Hasidic community without moving out of my state. And as far as Chabad, I didn't really know that much about Chabad, and I just didn't get in touch with them. I don't even know if they do conversions. Probably they do. But I just kind of got involved with like a general Orthodox community, and that's where I converted through, and I'm very happy here. Okay, next question. Would you recommend that someone interested in conversion show up to temple and dive in headfirst to the community, or take classes, or something else entirely? All right, if you're interested in conversion, I would definitely suggest going to a synagogue, checking it out, making sure that's really what you want, and then talking to a rabbi about conversion. Not all rabbis do conversions, and not all communities have a rabbi that does conversions. So you may have to move for that. But definitely like check it out, make sure it's what you really want. Take a lot of time learning. You can ask the rabbi at that community, even if they don't do conversions, you can ask them for any book recommendations that they have for you as far as learning more about Judaism. So that's where I would definitely head. Okay, next question. When your oldest moves out many years from now, will you still keep gluten-free? No. As soon as he's gone, we're not going to keep any gluten-free products in the house unless he's coming to visit. We only do it for him. Okay, next question. Are there any gluten-free dishes or recipes that you will keep? Yes, because just a lot of food that we make is just inherently gluten-free. It doesn't have anything to do with my son. It just happens to be gluten-free, like all of our salads that we make on Shabbat, or like the Moroccan fish, for example, which we absolutely love and eat all the time. Like that's gluten-free just because it is. So yeah, some of that stuff will just totally stay. Okay, next question. What personal accomplishment are you most proud of in the years since you've been on YouTube? Okay, so I assume this is like a YouTube related personal accomplishment question. I would say I just hit 5 million views last month, and that was pretty exciting. 5 million views is like a huge number, and I was like, wow, 5 million views on my channel. That was pretty special. So thank you all for that. Okay, next question. What is your evening routine like? So I have done a video in the past showing our evening routine. I will link to that in the description box below. This, however, was before we had baby Firefly. The evening routine has obviously changed. So I'll do an updated evening routine video here at some point. Just not yet, because evenings are a little crazy with a baby and trying to get a baby to bed, and I don't know, I feel like there is no routine right now because a lot depends on just like everything. We're not really in a routine at the moment. This baby Firefly is only like 6 weeks old, 7 weeks old. I don't know. We'll get there. When we do, I'll make another updated evening routine video for you guys. All right, next question. How does the hot plate that you use for Shabbat work? Do you have to put the food on there for hours before you eat it or later in the day? Also, do you have to leave it on overnight during Shabbat to avoid turning it on? These are great questions. Okay, so the way that it works, and this will answer those other questions, is we have ours on a timer. So the timer is set before Shabbat, it's plugged in before Shabbat, and then the hot plate will turn on a couple hours before we're planning to eat our meals. And that allows us to then put our food onto the hot plate. It will warm up, takes maybe an hour or so for the food to warm up, and then we're able to serve hot food for our meals. And yes, if we didn't have the timer, we just have to leave it on the entire time. And that does happen sometimes, like we mess up the timer and I didn't know how to do it. So I just left the timer off, plugged it in because my husband wasn't around to fix it for me. And we just left it on the entire Shabbat. Like that happens sometimes too. So yes, we cannot turn the hot plate on and off on Shabbat, but the timer is okay because again, we're not touching anything or adjusting anything. All right, next question. Reading. Front to back for school, back to front for religion, or is it the language? it is the language. So many books, like our religious books, like this is the book of Jeremiah, or my Siddur, my prayer book, they're going to start in what we think of as the back. And that's because Hebrew reads from right to left instead of from left to right, the way that we do in English. So I did a video on prayer that goes a little bit more into the prayer book. If you're interested, I'll link to that in the description box below as well. But yeah, that's why the books go different directions. So if it's a book that's in English, like just like a math book or something, then that's going to go like a normal English book and start from what we see as the front. But the Hebrew books, it's the front for Hebrew, but for us, it seems like the back. All right, next question. You've spoken about the modest clothing and covering hair. Are you able to breastfeed, or is that a no-no because of modesty, or do you have to ask the rabbi? No, I do not have to ask the rabbi any questions about feeding my child. Are you able to breastfeed, or is that a no-no because of modesty? Yes. Orthodox Jewish women are all allowed to breastfeed their children, or formula feed their children, or feed them however they would like to feed them. It's totally fine. Next question. What are you looking forward to most in terms of eating gluten again? Pizza, like regular homemade pizza. I love homemade pizza, and that, I don't know, we haven't done gluten pizza crust yet. I don't know with our recent changes with adding a little more gluten in the house, if that would be okay or not. I need to talk to my son about that one, because it's different. I don't know. I feel like the gluten-free pizza crust isn't a very solid replacement to the gluten pizza crust, but I don't know. I'll have to talk to him. But yeah, it'd be pizza on homemade pizza crust. There was a part 2 to that question. Is there one dish that that just cannot taste the same without gluten, and you cannot wait to make it with gluten again? So yeah, that would be the pizza crust. So yeah, okay, I already answered that. Next question. Do you miss doing things on Saturdays? I don't know what I'd be missing, because if I didn't have Shabbat, I'd be missing all of that. Saturday is my day to like hang out with my family, hang out with my friends, eat delicious food, dress up fancy. Like, it's the best day of the week. So what would I be missing? Running errands? No thanks. I do not want to go to Costco on a Saturday. I don't know about you. So yeah, I don't miss doing non-Shabbat things on Saturday, because Shabbat is so amazing and it completely fills my day and my life and my week. So yeah, no, I don't miss doing things on Saturdays. Next question. Can you do another hair covering video? I know you seem to prefer a specific type, but do you ever use tichels? Okay, so tichel is just basically another word for headscarf. I'm wearing a tichel right now. And yeah, I'm totally happy to do another video on how, I assume you mean like tutorials, like how to tie headscarves. I'm totally happy to do another video on those. I actually recently have discovered a few new ways to tie tichels, so I'm pretty excited to try those out. And once I get used to them, then I can do a video on how to do those for you guys. So yeah, totally happy to do another hair covering video. Okay, next question. How well do you know the differences but also similarities between Judaism and various religions such as Islam, Christianity? Okay, there's more questions to this, but I'll stop there and answer that. And I would say that I pretty well know the differences between Judaism and Christianity because I was raised Christian. And as far as Islam, I know some basic stuff about Islam. I know a fair amount about it because I do enjoy learning about other religions, but I don't know like in depth that much about it. Are there similarities and or differences that surprised you that you didn't expect? For example, I know that both Jewish and Muslim people don't eat pork. Do you know other similarities or differences, and do you teach your children about other religions for common knowledge, for example? Okay, yeah, I am aware of other similarities and differences between the 3 major religions, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. As far as teaching my children about other religions, yes, they definitely learn about other religions through our history classes. You can't learn history without learning about religion, in my humble opinion, because history is just entrenched with religion and conflicts due to religion, and yeah, you kind of need to learn about these things. So yeah, my kids have learned basics about religion. And then they see religion played out within our friends and family that are not Jewish. So they learn about other religions that way as well. There's another question here. Are there any particular books you would recommend a non-Jewish person that would give them a better understanding of Judaism? I've answered this question before. I will look that up and I'll link some books down in the description box below for you guys. All right, we're gonna answer just a couple of more questions and then I will close the video because I gotta get back to homeschooling my kids and baking bread. Okay, so first question, I noticed that no one has a microwave and I'm wondering about that on various Jewish channels that this person has been watching. For me personally, I can only answer for myself. It has nothing to do with keeping kosher. Most people I know have a microwave. For me personally, I just don't have one because we don't need it. If my oven can do it, then I don't need it. You know, so we got rid of our microwave, we got rid of our toaster. I want less stuff. And when you already have to have two of pretty much everything, yeah, I'd rather just not have it all. So we just don't have a microwave for convenience and for space and all that jazz. All right, last question for the day. I'm sure this would never happen, but how would you and your husband address a subject if any of your children wanted to change their faith? So I will start by saying that I will love my children no matter what. I hope that they are always a part of my life, no matter what decisions that they're making in life. I obviously hope that they will stay Jewish, but I mean, I didn't stay the religion that I grew up with, and I know that that hurt my parents. It was a rejection of everything that they had wanted for me. It was the loss of the future that they thought that I would have and that they thought that they would have with me. And I'm sure that that was very devastating for them. And I imagine that I would feel the same way. But just like I have a really close relationship with my parents and my siblings, I would hope that that would stay the same with my kids. So I'm not sure that that's really addressing it or just continuing to live my life with my family who I love, but that's it. Okay, and that is the video for today. I think we got through quite a few questions. I'm excited about that, and we will get to more in an upcoming video because you guys have given me plenty more questions to answer. But for now, we're gonna call this a close so I can get back to the bread in the oven and homeschooling my children because today is Thursday and it's a school day and Shabbat is coming tomorrow. All the things to do. All right, thank you all so much for watching. As always, I super appreciate it. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. It helps my channel out a lot and lets me know what kinds of videos you guys like to see. And of course, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I mean, come on, if you're still here watching, you probably would love to watch another video of mine, and I would personally love to see you here again. So hit that subscribe button. And with that, we're calling this video a close. Thank you all so much for being here. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in my next upload. Why are they so loud? All right, the next question. I can't read. Not the question. They wrote it fine. I can't read it. Let me make a note of that. Next question, what personal accomplishment? And then we're able to serve hot food for our lunch and dinner. And then we're able to serve hot food for our meals. Okay, next question. What are you looking forward to in... Next question. All right. What are you... next question. Cannot find my place on here. All right, next question. Are there any particular... Oh, I already answered that a long time ago.